Hi, I'm B. Hawthorne. I'm a writer, and wow, November happened, y'all. We did that. Good job. I immediately, after November 30th, collapsed onto my couch and was sick for like a week. And then I got sidetracked being gay, and now I'm sick again, as you can tell. So we're just gonna really like run through this video and hope we get it. Hi, welcome back. It is a cozy, cold December morning, and I have finally emerged from my post-November slumber. I crashed really hard at the very end of November. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I crashed like a motherfucker, dude. I crashed pretty hard. So it took me like a week to recover, and then I just got busy. And so now we're here again. It's a Friday. November was a whirlwind of a month. I went to a write-in literally every single day of the week. I wrote 62,000 words. And this is just a flex, but my writing group as a whole, all like 50 of us, wrote 1.4 million words over the course of the month. That's fucking nuts, bro. And that's just like one group of writers in Kansas City. Like, I cannot imagine the pure amount of words that have been written in November, even without like the national nano, like org nano. The fact that like a lot of people still got together and still like wrote words is crazy. So hey, if you wrote anything during November, give yourself a fucking hand, cause that shit's fucking hard, dude. Give yourself a hand, because November is not easy. Even if you didn't finish a whole novel, or if you finished a novel and hated it, like I did, you still did something in November, and like improving your craft is always the goal. So the fact that you did anything at all is a fucking miracle. So let's sort of go over my postmortem for November. I have some graphs that'll be cute and fun. I have some numbers, and I have one called shot that I made that was correct. All right, so first, I wrote 62,000 words during the month of November. That's crazy, by the way. That's the most I've ever written in a month, ever. And I never want to do that many words again. Absolutely not. I am setting my goal lower next year, for sure, for sure. Of those 62,000 words, 45,000 of those were draft one of The Stolen Spark. I think it was 45,441 words of that were the first draft that I hated. I talked about that in a prior video. But also, let's roll that clip of me saying, I bet this will turn out at about 40,000 words. I'm saying this now, and we'll see how close I am later. If you're a betting man, take some bets. But I think it's actually going to end up being closer to 40,000. Thank you. Thank you, past me. I was right. Let's just revel in the fact that I was right. Here's the thing. I think I am at a point in my writing journey now where I recognize what I do well, and especially what I do well in a first draft is like really compelling, broad strokes. And so I knew this was gonna be like a 40,000 word draft, and that was it. So I finished that draft on November 21st in like the morning. I remember it very clearly. It's a very weird time in my life because I was literally sitting inside of a Hawaiian Bros, like right next door to the movie theater where I was gonna go see Wicked with my friends. Very weird sort of moment for me to be finishing that draft on. But then later that night on November 21st, I started the second draft. Which the second draft, at the time of this recording, is about 13,000 words, and it covers maybe half of Act 1. I work much better when I have something to work from. By having 13,000 words of it and not quite being at Act, like where I'd like to be for like the end of Act 1, says to me that now we're on the right track a little bit. We're a little bit more, we're on the path here. Already it's gonna be fucking miles longer than that first draft. We knew that. And then beyond those two word counts, I have like, I think 2,000 or 3,000 words of just like notes and timelines and characters and sort of like my reference materials. I'm not counting, sorry. I'm not counting like reference materials like web pages that I'm using as part of my word count, but I am counting like when I wrote out like character portraits and like just wrote their descriptions. I am counting that in my word count for like notes and things that I needed, just because I know I needed them and I needed them written down somewhere, so I might as well fucking count it. And then I think that leaves about 2,000 words. I wrote like 2,000 words of a fanfic, genuinely. Just to like, I needed a day where I didn't touch the Stolen Spark at all. And God, did I need that day so bad. So I just wrote a fanfic that day. I was just like, let me just chip away on some other little project I have. So that was my November. How did your guys' November go? Leave it down in the comments below. Did you get anything written? Did you get what you wanted written? Did you want to write and then write? Did you not want to write? What was your November like? How do you feel about it? I feel like it's always so hard to do like a, what was your November like the week after November ends? Also because this year November ended on like a Saturday. So it was like just like a weird time overall. Guys, we're halfway through December. Horrible sentence to say. But I feel like we're like halfway through December now. I feel like you have a little bit of like little room. So like, how was it? Let's do some like honest reflection. Here's my honest reflection. November showed me that I can write a full-length novel. I can. I don't know as though I want to. I think I might be better at a novella. I think my writing style and my like personal attention span, I think I'm better at writing novellas. So I think I'm gonna go into the new year. Maybe I'm still gonna try and finish The Stolen Spark as like a full-blown book, sure. The other projects that I have though, I'm gonna stop pressuring myself to write a novel for all of them. Some of them can just exist as novellas. That's fine. And that's probably better for me as a writer, so I can feel like I am getting something done rather than like banging my head into a wall trying to do an art form that, I'll be honest, I struggle with. Like, writing a full-length novel is hard? Why is that the default, y'all? I'm going to novellas and short stories after this. Fuck a novel, TBH. The other thing is, as always, it's so much easier to write when you have a large group of people writing with you. Like I said, my writing group, Kamaraika, we had like 50 of us that were like doing the November challenge. And it helps to have something, even if you just have like one or two friends that you're like competing with good-naturedly to get more words. Like, it really, really does help. Peer pressure works. Peer pressure works. That's what I'm gonna say. Now it is December. We've done it. We made it through the gauntlet of November. Now it's December. I know like the obvious question is sort of like, what's next? I don't fucking know. I don't know really what I'm gonna do next. I am gonna take December. I'm gonna relax a little bit. I'm gonna finish some of these fucking books. I am going back to my parents' house for like the week of Christmas, and I know that I'm just gonna have a bunch of spare time. So we're bringing some books with me to like finish out. Here's my full TBR list for the end of the year. I have only read, I keep track of my books, not at like Storygraph or Goodreads or anything. I keep track of them in a spreadsheet because I'm a special kind of weird. And I think I've read like 30 books maybe, give or take. So like, I do not have a very impressive, it was not an impressive reading year. I'll say that much. Here's the ones that are on my TBR for the very end of the year. Sabola Burn. This is the 4th book in the Expanse series. I am buddy reading this with my friend Dan. Hi, Dan. I'm listening to the audiobook of it. I've sort of talked about it before. I'm kind of back and forth on the Expanse series. I really, really, really liked Leviathan Wakes, but the first one in the series. But the thing I liked about Leviathan Wakes was the fact that half of it was like a hard-boiled detective mystery, and the other half was James Holden, and I ignored the James Holden half and enjoyed my half. But I think I just hate James Holden, and so it depends on how insufferable James Holden is during this book, and if side characters, the other POV characters, are like better, then I'm gonna love them. But the other POV characters in Abaddon's Gate, the one right before this, book 3, didn't really get steam until like halfway through. So if it's another case of like James Holden is fucking insufferable and I hate him, and also the side characters are like not as fun, then I might drop it. We'll see. Also on my TBR is Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. Robert Jackson Bennett wrote, I think maybe my favorite book of 2024, which is The Tainted Cup. I bought that, a hardcover edition of the book. Do you know how much it takes to get me to buy a hardcover edition of a book? Crazy. Robert Jackson Bennett wrote that one, also writing Drop of Corruption, which is coming out next year, I believe. And Foundry Side is the series I think that he did right before this one. It has been described to me as a fantasy heist, and so I'm into it. I don't know if that's correct, but I'm into it. The other one that I'm gonna be hopefully finishing is Jade City, also in the little pile behind me. God, I am trying to get through Jade City. The first introduction chapters of any big hefty world building book always are such a slog for me, even though I know the rest of it's probably so fun. I'm stuck like 15% of the way through it. I don't even know if you can see where my bookmark is. It's right here. I'm stuck maybe like 5 to 10% of the way through it, just because, wow, introduction chapters are so rough. And it's not even like they're poorly written introduction chapters. This book is gorgeously written. I personally have a skill issue. Jot that down. I think I'm gonna finish this book tonight, probably. But I'm gonna finish Nemesis by Agatha Christie. This one I picked up just sort of like as something to read, and now I'm halfway through it, and I have some problems with Miss Christie. I have beef with Agatha Christie. Yes, she's been dead for 50 years. I'd still like to lodge a complaint. And then the last one is Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. I think I've mentioned Station 11 before as one of my other favorite books of all time. This is not directly a sequel to Station 11, but from what I understand and from what I've paged through, there's like references to the Station 11 world. And that's as much as I'll say. Beyond that, I don't really have major writing goals for December. December is my take a month off, chill month. But I may get back into fiddling around with my novella, The Rope Salesman, just because I kind of miss that guy. I haven't been there for like 2 months and I kind of miss that guy, so I might go back and write a little more for him, because I like that man. I like that weird guy. I wrote a ton this year, actually. I wrote 142,000 words, according to TrackBear. Thank you, TrackBear, my beloved. That's fucking nuts. That's crazy. And I think I'm gonna take it easy now. I'm gonna take it easy. Next video, I think, is gonna be me planning my writing goals for 2025, or at least for the first quarter of 2025. I don't know if that'll be coming at the end of this month or the beginning of next, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be in a different location. Maybe I'll be at my parents' house. You just don't know. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me on sort of like a half year of this like weird little writing YouTube channel where I just sort of like run my fucking mouth. More to come. I hope in the new year, one of my dreams is I'm going to be doing more like character analyses, and I really want to sort of deep dive into why we love to hate Sherlock Holmes is kind of the one that I'm like what's up with that guy. So in the new year, we'll be talking a little bit more about characters, as well as just like the art of story across different mediums, because while my first love might be reading and writing, my second love is definitely television. So we'll be kind of like getting into some of those in the new year. If I don't see you before 2025, have a happy new year.